Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. My eyes were glued on life and they were full of tears. Never respond to an angry person with a fiery comeback, even if he deserves it. Don't allow his anger to become your anger. Create a vision for the life you really want, and then work relentlessly towards making it a reality. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. No matter how slow the truth moves, it will surely reach its destination. In a very real sense, we have two minds, one that thinks and one that feels. I will not deny, but that the best apology against false accusers is silence and sufferance, and honest deeds said against dishonest words. It's a strange myth that atheists have nothing to live for. It's the opposite. We have nothing to die for. We have everything to live for. I do not care so much what I am to others as I care what I am to myself. I'll try anything once, twice if I like it, 3 times to make sure. Leaders are limited by their vision rather than by their abilities. You are not the victim of the world, but rather the master of your own destiny. It is your choices and decisions that determine your destiny. If there was anything that depressed him more than his own cynicism, it was that quite often it still wasn't as cynical as real life. There is little success where there is little laughter. Most of us try to do too much because we are secretly afraid we will not be able to do anything at all. Vulnerability sounds like truth and feels like courage. Truth and courage aren't always comfortable, but they're never weakness. When you know what you want, and you want it bad enough, you'll find a way to get it. I was lost yesterday, I am found today, and I will be forgotten tomorrow. Become braver, stronger, wiser, kinder, and you will become better. The circumstances surrounding your birth is not as important as the opportunity to live life. Being sensitive is a gift that fosters peace. Help create a kinder, gentler world by embracing it. The boy and his heart had become friends, and neither was capable now of betraying the other. People are always complaining that life's not fair, but that simply isn't true. Life is extraordinarily fair. It's just not centered on you. Always stand up for truth regardless of who steps on it. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is reluctance. This had seemed a safe choice, since to be against the Beatles is to be against life. Other people's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Go after what you want in life. Don't just talk about it. Take a step. Run. It takes writing a billion bad words before you get to the good ones. I believe there is another world waiting for us. A better world. And I'll be waiting for you there. 3 things cannot hide for long: the moon, the sun, and the truth. Life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man could invent. The goal is timeless. Chase the moment, and you lose. Accept yourself, flaws, quirks, talents, secret thoughts, all of it, and experience true liberation. If you only write when inspired, you may be a fairly decent poet, but you'll never be a novelist. Growth isn't a series of mistakes. That's the only way you learn. You're already in the territory of the flowers. It's only a matter of time before you bloom. I just want someone to hear what I have to say, and maybe if I talk long enough, it'll make sense. Men occasionally stumble over the truth, but most of them pick themselves up and hurry off as if nothing had happened. Deeds will not be less valiant because they are unpraised. Even a blind man knows when the sun is shining. Those who are willing to be vulnerable move among mysteries. Your conscience is the measure of the honesty of your selfishness. Listen to it carefully. There were many terrible things in my life, and most of them never happened. There is something fascinating about science. One gets such wholesale returns of conjecture out of such a trifling investment of fact. It is rare for people to be asked the question which puts them squarely in front of themselves. Because this is the way things are meant to be. Yesterday is not ours to recover, but tomorrow is ours to win or lose. There must be those among whom we can sit down and weep and still be counted as warriors. I can learn to live with guilt. I don't care about being good. It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that matters. Do good. Live in the most positive and joyful way possible every day. You don't have to like someone, but you have to treat them as you wish to be treated. A daily dose of daydreaming heals the heart, soothes the soul, and strengthens the imagination. Great goals make great people. People cannot hit what they do not aim for. It takes no more time to see the good side of life than to see the bad. Don't believe what your eyes are telling you. All they show is limitation. Look with your understanding. It is only possible to live happily ever after on a daily basis. As soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live. A traitor's just a patriot on the wrong side of winning. If you can't impress them with your argument, impress them with your actions. It's a good idea always to do something relaxing prior to making an important decision in your life. If a man is to shed the light of the sun upon other men, he must first of all have it within himself. I believe in the fundamental truth of all great religions of the world. So early in my life, I had learned that if you want something, you had better make some noise. Failure is not when you fail once, but when you refuse to learn from your mistakes. The greatest day in your life and mine is when we take total responsibility for our attitudes. That's the day we truly grow up. There is no common sense and no common logic, only common fantasies. Truth will always be truth, regardless of lack of understanding, disbelief, or ignorance. Sisters in battle, I am shield and blade to you. As I breathe, your enemies will know no sanctuary. While I live, your cause is mine. The truth was only another mask, even if it was the best fit, the closest to skin and all that lay beneath. Amidst a crowd of friends, a search for truth begins, to find the few who stand by through thick and thin. With ordinary talent and extraordinary perseverance, all things are attainable. Over time, hidden truths morph in the dark soil of deceit into something much worse. If you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. If you can remember why you started, then you will know why you must continue. Wild animals are less wild and more human than many humans of this world. It is therefore senseless to think of complaining, since nothing foreign has decided what we feel, what we live, or what we are. If you want to give yourself a fair chance to succeed, never expect too much too soon. Peace is not happenstance. It is a living fire that must be fed constantly. It must be tended with vigilance, else it dies out. No matter how high your status in life is, you are inferior to death. For this be humble. Hobbes, if you don't get a good night kiss, you get Kafka dreams. Money gives you freedom. Freedom gives you happiness. Life is too short or too long for me to allow myself the luxury of living it so badly. Sometimes I think my head is so big because it is so full of dreams. You must find the place inside yourself where nothing is impossible. I know it's not easy for you, living this life, but try to remember, always try to remember, you're not the only one with troubles. We get swallowed up by the illusion that unless we can find a place to belong, we are going to be all alone in the world. First impressions are rarely worth preserving. Men typically fall short of our expectations. Sometimes, some lies that spoken with high confidence could be more receptive than facts that spoken with doubt. Even if there is a small lie in the truth you're telling, it will make the truth questionable. If those at your top are weak, your bottom will be rotten. There's nothing in the world that breeds success like success. You can't let the truth bring out the worst and let it get the best of you. But man's duty is to try and endeavor. Success depends upon chance and environments. In the long run, the sharpest weapon of all is a kind and gentle spirit. When they say the sky's the limit, to me that's really true. Some choose to influence change, and some choose to be influenced by change. You choose which one are you. You can't cross the sea merely by standing and staring at the water.